Hello there, I'm Colin The Head and welcome to this special edition of Meet the Breakers. Today we've come to a small ex-mining village called Upwilliesworth. Now the reason why Meet the Breakers has come to Upwilliesworth is to meet a breaker called Steve Saxon. What is Steve Saxon? He's only breaker that's on in Upwilliesworth. Meet the Breakers have come to see him to see how Steve Saxon's going on with his radios and stuff, because he's a radio am, but he's also a breaker and he's been on CB since back in 80s. He set up and he was one of the first stations on in 80s, and he set a really good station up here in Upwilliesworth. He's got best setup in Upwilliesworth as Steve Saxon, because there's nobody else on in Upwilliesworth, and Steve Saxon's still on rig. So what we've decided to do here at Meet the Breakers is to come to see Steve Saxon here in his radio shack here in Upwilliesworth and give him the Meet the Breakers experience. Right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to see if we can just get him on rig. You on here, Steve Saxon? 19, Steve Saxon, you on here?
Oh, lucky me.
Steve Saxon, you on here? Steve, you on here? He must not be on. He doesn't really know we're coming or talking to him the other day. So, I know where he lives anyway. I've been round to Steve's loads of times. I've bought radios off him, I've bought linears off him, I've bought aerials off him. So I'll just give one more call on radio before we go. You on here, Steve? Steve Saxon, you on here?
I saw it through his car window.
Oh, we'll just call round anyway. Oh well, not to worry. Worth a try, wasn't it? Obviously, he's not on radio, so we'll just call around to Steve's now and see if he's around and about. Right. So if you can remember back to episode 2 of Meet the Breakers when we went to see Steve Poppernacker at Upton, Steve Saxon actually made a guest appearance in that actual episode. And if you can remember rightly, he was sat on Steve's settee, right, with his hair all over the place and that, and he actually told us to fuck off. So if any of y'all are wondering, who's Steve Saxon? Who's Steve Saxon? That's who Steve Saxon is, and we're going to go meet him now in his own QTH, in his own home. So here we are in Steve's garden. He spends a lot of his time in shed, does Steve. He's always down in his shed, pottering about and stuff, and he takes pride in his shed as well. He's really proud of his shed, and he likes to keep his shed nice and tidy. So I hope his shed's nice and tidy for Meet the Breakers. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to knock on Steve's shed door and see if Steve's in. Alright Steve, it's Colin The Head here from Meet the Breakers. Colin The Head from Meet the Breakers.
Colin The Head!
Hello, how are we doing? Alright?
Aye, come in, lad.
Alright,
come in. Come on in.
Alright Steve, how are we doing? We've come to see you, like Colin The Head's Meet the Breakers. I thought I'd do a Meet the Breakers episode on it. Can you remember me telling you about it on radio overnight?
Aye. Ah, well, come in anyway, cook, aye.
Right, so we're just here in Steve's radio shack, and obviously this is the only existing CB radio operator that exists here in Upwilliesworth, and this is the actual breaker. This is Steve Saxon, everybody.
Hello.
So Steve, we've come to see you. Meet the Breakers have come to see you. So we want to have a look at your station. Obviously, you're a dedicated CB radio.
Oh, aye, yeah, dedicated. I've been on CB, Colin, since CB was invented. In fact, I was on CB before it was invented.
Were you?
Aye.
How were you on CB before it were invented?
Well, because I used to be in military, you see.
Oh, what? So you actually use radio? Were you in the army?
No.
No. Right. Well, so what did you do there then, really?
What?
In military?
I used to blow things up and make bombs and kill people. I've killed people, you know.
Have you?
Yeah, look, this is my prize possession here.
Is that your gun?
Aye, this is a Colt, this, .50 caliber.
Right.
And I've killed some Germans with this.
Have you?
Aye.
I've mint that, Steve.
I keep it here for protection, like, you know.
Not for like reminiscing, alright.
No. It's a gun, for Christ's sake. It kills people.
All right. Oh, sound is that, Steve? So you've got a gun.
I've got a gun.
Right. That's good.
Aye.
What else? What else you got to show us, Steve?
Well, I don't know, Colin. What do you want to see?
Well,
like?
you are actually a dedicated radio am, aren't you? You've just gone and passed your ticket. Let's have a look at your radio.
Well, here's my CB here, as you can see.
Right.
And it's a realistic home base, TRC 3000. Top of range.
Top at range.
Top at range.
Best you can buy. Is it best CB in world?
But between you and me, this is the best CB I've ever owned.
Is that the best CB you ever owned? And what radio is it?
A realistic 3000 home base. It means, Colin, we've been at home base, it means that it plugs into the wall.
Never.
If you see behind you there's a plug on wall,
Right.
and it plugs into that plug on wall.
So that's where you plug rigging.
Plugs into the wall.
So you'd have to have a power pack, do you?
It's got one built inside it.
Oh, right. So
Oh, there's another power pack there, look under there.
What's
There's
that?
another one.
Oh, is that just a spare?
That's 15 amp that.
Is it?
You actually get out better.
Does it?
The more amps you get in the power pack, the better you get out.
I didn't know that.
That's true.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So you learn something.
Yeah. So bigger power pack you've got, the better you get out. Steve just told us, right? The bigger your power pack, the more you're gonna get out. So he's got a 15 amp power pack, and then he's blasting out. Like I said, his biggest station is the only. You are the only station in Upwilliesworth, aren't you?
Old Royston's got an handheld, but he don't come on much.
Has Royston got one?
Royston Braley.
Royston
He
Braley.
lives that street. He's got an handheld.
Never.
But he don't come back. I talked to him on this. This is my handheld here. Now this is my radio am handheld.
Right, and what handheld is it?
Well, it's a Bay. Hold on a minute. Bayerfeng UV5R.
It's a Bayerfeng UV5R. He's got a Bayerfeng UV5R.
And this is an amateur radio.
Right.
It's not. I can't talk on CB with this.
Wait, go down low enough, will it, Steve? Will it?
What do you mean?
It won't go down low enough. It won't go onto them frequencies.
Well, if I drop it, it'll go down.
If you drop it, it'll go down, yeah, obviously, but it won't go down low enough. Are you with me, Steve?
No.
You're not with me at all, are you? You're not with me. You won't go to the lower frequencies where CB is.
Oh, right.
It won't go on 27 megs, will it?
No, it won't go on 27 meg.
No, it won't go on. But what's that for? Why do you use that then? Tell us all about this Bayer thing, Steve.
Well, what it was, I've got some friends in Sheffield, you see.
Right.
A couple of radio am friends.
Right.
There's one of them, oh God, let me think of the name. One of them, she's a lady, she's called Christina. She's nice.
Do you talk to her regular? She's nice. Do you?
She's a radio am friend of mine.
Oh, are you friends with Christina?
You won't know her, but she's from Sheffield.
Right.
I don't think you know her, because you're not into radio, am I?
Not really, no. I'm not a radio am, no.
Right.
No, I'm not.
Well, there's a couple of my friends in Sheffield, Luke and Christina,
Right.
and we're all radio ams together, and they sent me for my licence, basically.
Oh, did they? Did they make you go? Did they want you to go and do ticket like?
Aye, but what it is really, with CB, what I tend to find is, obviously I've got 15 amps, and
Yeah.
it's a plug-in wall,
Yeah.
so I can get out there if I want to.
Yeah.
But what I tend to find with CB is that the quality of people's changed, Colin.
Has it? Now tell us all about that, Steve. Where are you going with this one?
Well, back in my day, when I used to be on CB all the time,
Yeah.
we were all respectable people.
Yeah.
They were really decent people.
Right.
But lately, everybody on CB's tossers.
Never.
They are tossers. Give or take one or two, such
Yeah.
as me. Obviously, I'm not a tosser. But it's full of tossers, so I thought I'd move into radio amsphere because radio ams are much better people.
Are there?
Well, they are, Colin. Yeah, they're much better people.
In what way, Steve? Tell us all about it. We're dying to know about this at
Well,
Breakers.
take CB for example. 19 Roger. 19 Roger. 19 fucking Roger, for fuck's sake. There's nobody on it. There's nobody on it. It's shit.
Right.
So I thought to myself, why waste all your time on that chicken box
Yeah.
when I can get myself a real amateur radio
Right.
and talk to like-minded individuals? So I basically go on here and I open up the repeaters.
Right.
Now, it's set in here 145 decimal 400.
Right.
And that opens up my local repeater.
The Upwilliesworth repeater.
The Upwilliesworth repeater.
Right.
145 decimal 400.
Right.
So I go on there and I can get out all over to all range of different people.
To Christina.
Christina, if she's on.
If she's on.
If she's on.
Yeah. So you've got this amateur radio.
Yes.
And you're going out all over the world on this little device.
Yes, that's
using
right.
using Upwilliesworth repeater.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. And you're the only actual radio am in Upwilliesworth, aren't you?
Well, it depends on how you define radio am. Because what it is, I've already said about Royston with handheld. Now Royston's nephew, he's got a young nephew.
Right.
Now he's called, I don't think you know him, but he's called Pawson. And
Hey.
he's a hybrid radio am.
A hybrid radio am. What's one of them then?
Well, it's a special type of radio am.
Right.
You've got your normal radio ams,
Yeah.
which is made up of foundation, intermediate, technical,
Yeah.
etc., you know.
Yeah.
And then you've got hybrid.
Right. Hybrid. A hybrid radio am.
They're the next generation of CBers.
The next generation of CB.
But on our radio.
The hybrid ams.
Yes.
The hybrid ams. And Pawson's one of these hybrid ams.
Well, he's Royston's nephew, you see.
Right.
So when he comes into Upwilliesworth,
Yeah.
sometimes he'll open up Williesworth repeater, and sometimes we'll have a talk. In fact, if I just set this dial now, hold on. I don't know how to work this yet. I just need to clean my glasses, I can't see what I'm bloody doing, hold on. Can't see up without my glasses, Colin.
Can't you?
I'll be
I
honest.
think that's why you wear them.
Right, so. Do you want me to put a call out on 2 meters?
Yeah, we put a call out on 2 metre.
G6241 X-ray Lima Papa Golf Victor 977 calling sugar repeater. Victor X-ray Alpha 12 Nick that paddywhack. There's nobody on it.
I don't know it, Steve, mate. We've just asked you, mate, why did you pack CB in, mate? And you've obviously got this amateur radio. Right?
Yeah.
You say you're talking to all these people and you've got loads of amateur radio mates, right? Why aren't they on?
Well, you've got to look at it like this, you see. It's a really sunny day today.
Yeah, it's a really sunny day.
Now,
I'm absolutely boiling in this shed at the moment. I'm sweating me bag out.
Well, I've got quite a bit of loose cheese on my forehead as well, Colin.
yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, there's 2 types of people.
Right.
There's those that are out there,
Yeah.
and those that are in here.
Right.
And I'm in here.
Oh, you're in here on a very hot sunny day.
Where else should I be?
Talking on your radio am.
Well,
The thing, UV5R.
I do them both, look. Watch this. This is skill.
Yeah, is this cutting edge shit?
19 of Roger. 20 EQ, upper. 19 a copy. Upper Foxtrot 12, upper. Roger.
So really, to put it in perspective, you're not really doing anything differently on that, or what you're going to be doing on this.
I don't get you.
Well, they're both radios, aren't they? That's a radio.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's also a radio.
Right.
You're speaking to each one,
Yes.
right? So really, you're not doing anything differently on the actual amateur radio as what you'd be doing on the CB.
It's a better type of people.
But it's better type of people,
better.
right? But the actual physical procedure is no different.
Oh, it is.
No, it's not.
No, I can go on CB and I can swear.
Exactly.
Look, watch this.
You've got freedom of speech.
Watch.
Yeah.
Observe.
Right.
Shit, bugger, arsehole, peacock fart, fuck, wank, bollock, cunt.
Such a colourful array of vocabulary there, Steve.
It's my prerogative, Colin.
Yeah. On CB.
I can go on sit now. Don't get me wrong. When I go on 2 meters, I wouldn't swear like that.
No, obviously no.
I'd limit myself to bugger, fart, maybe shit, and bloody.
Right.
But I still wouldn't be saying cunt, fuck, wank, shit, bastard, tosser
On CB there.
on CB.
Right, Steve. I think we've really covered everything. Have we got anything else to show me, the breakers, while we're here?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I had a good tidy up in here yesterday.
Yeah, we can see it's pretty tidy, like.
I had a really good tidy up, but I can't do much because of my back, you see.
Right.
See, I've got a right bad back.
Right.
So, I can only tidy up in increments.
Explain them in increments, like little pieces.
Right, so let's say, for example, this battery here.
Yeah.
Now, this battery is from an old cordless drill.
Right.
So here it is, it's sat on shelf there, and you might look at that battery and think, oh, look at that battery, it's a mess.
Right.
So I think, I'll tidy this away.
Yeah.
So here it is,
Yeah.
and now it's tidy.
Right. No worries.
Now, I can keep going that all day. If you find out else, now this is from my soldering iron.
Right. Now he's tidy that soldering iron stand up.
Well, as you see, we're outside here. Which is alright, it's not doing no harm.
Yeah.
But somebody might look at that and think, what a bloody eyesore.
Yeah.
Well, it's not an eyesore anymore.
Right. So that's how you tidy your shed up, innit? It's out of your way, innit? Obviously, this is where you sit.
Yeah.
You don't want no clutter of rubbish around your bare thing and your CB and your 15 amp power pack, do you? You know what I mean?
Well, it's all tidy, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a tidy mess.
I'm not even going to accept that. For me, it's tidy.
Right, alright then, mate.
I mean, you should have come yesterday when it were an eyesore yesterday.
Right.
There was stuff all over. There were things everywhere.
Right.
There were just random things laying around, and I've tidied them all up.
They look pretty tidy in here, Steve. Look at Right, Steve. Have you got anything else to add to actual documentary?
Well, I can show you some of my antennas if you like.
Shall we have a look at your aerials? See
I collect antennas, you see.
Let's get some of your antennas down.
Well, I'll have a go at standing up, but hold on.
Alright then, mate, no worries.
I'm getting too old for this game, Colin.
What, this Meet the Breakers game? It's hard work, innit?
Right, so, I'll show you some of my antennas up here. I've got, this is one of my favourite, this. This is a stereo antenna with a spring on bottom and a spring here. It's a coil, you see. And I've talked all over the world on this, and it bends as well, look, you see that? It bends, so if you go under a bridge, it's still okay. So I've talked all over the world. Now, I've got some other antennas. This is an interesting one here, because this is what I made myself. Now, it's a custom wound Scarlet Warrior. I put extra thick wire on it myself, and I wound it, and I sprayed it with lacquer, and basically I made it really good. And this is what I use for amateur radio. It's got an extendable whip, and I can use this on top band, right down on 160 metres, and I can use it on top band. It's that long, and there's that much induction in the coil. I can all the way across HF, all the way, right from the top, all the way down. And I use that, and that's what I talk to people around the world on. So I'll put this back. I'll show you some of the other antennas, Colin, while I'm here. This one's a modulator, but it's not just a normal modulator. I've physically bored it senseless by talking to it too much. No, I've bored it out with a drill, and I've basically put a thick whip in it, so it's more like a stereo whip. So it's very, very sturdy. It's very sturdy. It's sturdier than a normal modulator. A lot sturdier.
So it's a sturdier modulator, isn't it?
And that means when you're driving about, and instead of your antenna going, it's more.
Right.
So
I understand what you mean, Steve.
Yeah. And then there's a couple of Scarlet Warriors, a couple of other. This one. This is a really, really special antenna. I bought this from America. I went to America and I bought this, and I paid something like $120.
Right.
And when I got it home and I tried it, I couldn't swear it in.
Why? Tell us all about that, Steve. Why couldn't you swear that in? You think of Ariel, $120, and at least swear in for you.
Personally, I think there's something missing.
Yeah.
But when I had a word with the shop, he says, no, it's complete. But,
you won't swear in? The unswearable antenna, is that what it's called?
No, it's called a...
The unswearable?
No, it's called a furrocoil, I think.
A furrocoil?
Furrocoil.
A furrocoil.
Now, I keep them up here in this tube, as you can see.
I can see your antenna storage system.
Well, it's not just for storage, it's also where they're kept.
Right.
So that it's where they live, kinda.
So what's that over there then, in background? That other one you've got on top of rack?
Ah, this used
one.
to be my outside aerial.
Why haven't you got that up
Well,
anymore?
it's a serial aerial with three ground planes. And they used to have it up for there on loads of poles. And one day it were really windy.
Right.
And I looked at it, and it was swinging and swaying, and I thought, sod that for a game of soldiers. I'm going to take it down, put it up here, and keep it safe.
Right. So that's where it stays.
So that's where it stays.
Yeah. So what's this here you've got up here?
Oh, that's my other antenna.
Right. What's that there?
Let me get over to it, and I'll show you. Oh God, this antenna here. I'll show you this because I don't think you've ever featured one of these. This is a mag mount.
A mag mount.
Right, now, basically what a mag mount does, it's magnetic.
Right.
And this will sit on the vehicle.
Right.
And it'll stick to things that are metal.
Right.
Well, that's why it was stuck to that beam.
Right.
Because that's made out of metal.
Metal, innit? Yeah,
It was stuck to there. And basically, with this antenna, as you can see, it's perfect for amateur radio, again, with length.
Yeah,
I designed this myself.
Right.
And I can talk on HF with this.
Right.
And I can go down on 40 metres, 60 metres, 80 metres. Lots of metres.
Lots of meters, all in one little aerial. It's such a little antenna, all the meters in that little antenna. As you can see, Steve's shed is looking really tiny in here. He's showing his aerials and stuff. He's all his equipment. As you can see, he's a professional radio operator, is Steve Saxon. Don't get any more professional than this, does it? Cutting edge stuff. So, we've come to see Steve Saxon here at Upwilliesworth. We've had a look around his setup, his station and his shed. And it's been a really enjoyable experience. So that's about it. What are you doing with that spanner?
Why?
Well, I want to know what you're doing with that spanner. What are you planning on doing with that, Steve? You've got a gun under there, for Christ's sake. What are you doing with that spanner?
It's for bolts.
Alright, as long as it's for bolts and not for my head, I'm not bothered.
It's for bolts, Colin. You don't have to worry about this spanner.
Yeah.
So we're just showing it. It's part of me. I've got some tools here on demonstration.
Right.
Now these are Chinese tools.
Right.
And the reason I buy Chinese tools is because they're about 70 to 80% cheaper than any other tool.
Right, yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I've never had a problem with them. So
Is it metric or imperial?
I like Chineses as well.
Do you like Chineses, do you? How many Chineses have you had in your lifetime? Not on about the takeaway, Steve. I'm on about the girls. How many Chineses have you had?
I've never had any girl. I'm a virgin.
Are you still a virgin?
Well, kinda.
Oh, right. I didn't know that either, Steve.
What it was, I'll tell you now. I used to go out with a girl from school called Corinthia.
Corinthia, did you?
Don't laugh. Don't laugh, because I fell in love with her, you see.
Did you fall in love with Corinthia?
I did. I fell in love with Corinthia, but she broke my heart.
Oh, that's usually the case, mate.
Well, so I made a pledge.
Did you?
And it says, as God is my witness, if Corinthia wants to break my heart heart's still Corinthia's, you see.
Oh, right. You still got Corinthia still plays a big part in your life.
She's married. She's got kids now.
Right.
She's married. She's
Right.
living with some bloody bloke in Featherstone, some idiot. But she broke my heart, but she still owns my heart, Colin.
Does Corinthia?
And one day I'll get her back.
You will, Steve. You'll get Corinthia back one day, mate.
In fact, we've talked about it, Colin.
Does Corinthia go on radio?
She's the fella breaker. Well, not a fella breaker, because she's a woman. She's a lady breaker.
A lady breaker. Oh,
A fella lady breaker.
a fella lady breaker.
I don't mean she's got nuts and
No,
and
I mean
sausages.
she's a lady breaker.
She's a fella lady breaker, but she's not a fella lady breaker.
But a fella, real lady.
No, she's not a fella. She's
not
a
fella.
woman.
Yeah, but she's called Corinthia, and she's your long lost love. Right out loud, Steve.
Well, she is.
Yeah, she's your long lost love. Is Corinthia. On a personal note, do you talk to her on radio much?
No, to be honest, she don't come
I
on.
bet she don't come on.
She's got kids to look after now.
Yeah.
She's always stopping kids from setting fire to rug and things.
Yeah, normal stuff.
The normal stuff. So
Yeah. All right then, Steve. It's been a pleasure, and we're gonna have to get off.
Right.
So that's it from Steve Saxon here at Upwilliesworth. I'm Colin The Head. This is Colin The Head's Meet the Breakers. This is Steve, Upwilliesworth's answer to the radio ham world. Right, Steve, we're going. You have to come out at shed.
I'm not coming out here, it's too hot for me, I'll end up catching sunstroke.
You won't catch sunstroke. Come on, you need to show me out anyway.
Well, you're on your own way, Colin. It's been a pleasure meeting you, so...
Yeah. Alright, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Steve. It's been an enjoyable experience.
Aye.
I'll see you later, yeah?
Righto, Colin.
Alright, Steve.
Hey,
What?
you're not putting me on YouTube, though, are you?
No, we're not going on YouTube now.
Good,
Alright.
because I don't want to be on YouTube.
Alright then, mate.
Right, Colin.
See you later.
Catch you later, lad.
So, what the hell have we just there? You know, what's going off there? A lot of the information is actually good as regarding them antennas and stuff. That is actually completely wrong. The whole setup thing and this, that, other, you know, it's completely. It's got to be a little bit off mark as far as the CB operator is concerned, but he's a radio amp, so he must have some sort of knowledge. You know, he's been on radio since radio ever began. He says he's been army and stuff, and he had a long lost love called Corinthia. Corinthia, Steve's long lost love. But his actual radio setup is. It is what it is. It's Steve Saxon's setup. End of the day, and can't be out else. Didn't want to argue with a guy. He's got a gun in his shed. You know what I mean? He could have just blown my head off at any minute, any given time. And when he picked that spanner up, God, I thought he was going to hit me over the head with it. You know what I mean? I thought he was going to stone my head in with an adjustable spanner. I've broke an heart, Steve. Poor bloke. Corinthians broke his heart. Anyway, I hope it all works out for Steve. I'm Colin The Head, and this is Colin The Head. Meet the Breakers. Steve Saxon, Upwilliesworth. Bye.